I said that it isn't just about commerce and business, but it is also about commerce and business. And that is why my government stands proud here today. I want to repeat myself. My government stands proud here today to be able to bring in to the pantheon of financial institutions in this country the Afreximbank, not simply as an entity that is leasing a building from somebody for an office, but that as someone who is now about to lay roots and foundations in this country, the first outside of the continent of Africa, just as Barbados was the first hub outside of the continent of Africa. And in so doing, we send the signal that we intend to be able to reclaim our Atlantic destiny in ways that allow us not simply to look north, but to continue to look east, west, and south. This site was a site that was chosen for the first hospital to be built for the emancipated slaves of this country. When the hospital opened in 1844, having first been discussed in 1836 during the period of apprenticeship, I am uniquely aware of the history of this site. And there can be no better use for this site to ensure that in the same way people came to tend to sick bodies in 1844 on this site, that we come today to tend to those who need prosperity in the Americas from this site here in Bridgetown. My friends, I know this site only too well as well. On the 12th of September 1994, a Monday morning, I left what was then government headquarters, now known as State House, due to our new Republican status. And I traveled a mere 5 minutes to this site and entered for the first time an office where I was a minister of the then Crown of the government of Barbados. My office was in the building, 2 buildings behind this tent. And I spent just under 2 years there while we refurbished the old Queen's College site, which then became the Ministry of Education. I say these things because the simple determination to make whole this site again for purposes that will add value to the people of this nation cannot be reduced to the kind of diatribe that I've heard. We are a sovereign state. And like other sovereign nations, we enter into relationships with regional and international bodies that have acceptable standards and norms. Indeed, this country took immense pride when the first Secretary General of the United Nations from the African continent, Mr. Kofi Annan, came to Barbados at the turn of the millennium to open up the United Nations House, a house where the land was given to the United Nations by the people and government of Barbados, and where the building was built by the people and government of Barbados for the United Nations House that now exists and which we take for granted. The same happened with other entities, the most recent of which, Secretary General, is the Caribbean Examinations Council building, where we not only gave the land, but we also built the building. But I could limit it to financial institutions too. And if I were so to do, just over 50 years ago when the Caribbean Development Bank was established, and a determination made for it to find its headquarters in this great land, the people and government of Barbados gave the land to the Caribbean Development Bank.